Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. Trivia Carter, what's up? Good morning. All right, let's see. Busy night last night. LSU baseball beat Central Arkansas 10-4. We're up 3-0. Central Arkansas rallied to take a 4-3 lead, and the Tigers came right back to grab the lead back, and then never relented from there. So LSU wins it. We'll go through the game a little bit, and the Pels also winners last night. They blew out. They blew out the Spurs. So one of those you had to have and you got, but then you look back on Friday when you lost to Houston, one of the ones you had to have, and you blew a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter. It's what's really just confounding about this team. So anyway, Blake Money got the start, went 3 2/3. He was cruising through the first 3 innings. I mean, absolutely rolling, and then gave up a 4 spot in the fourth. So, I think one of the things we learned maybe through games like this, and by the way, Blake Money looked awesome through 3. Could tell it was it was an opportunity for him. A guy who started last year as a Friday night guy and ended up, bullpen guy whose role diminished, and then this year has sort of been really a non-factor. But this was an opportunity for Blake Money. In the first 3 innings, he was dominant, snapping off breaking balls for strikes. He was, his fastball had good run. I mean, he looked really good, and then it just kind of fell apart there in the fourth. So maybe it's one of those things where you look and you say, all right, Blake Money's a guy who can be that middle reliever. If you got a pitcher, a starter who gives you 3 or 4, like Hurd or Floyd did the other day, you can hand the ball to Blake Money and say, hey, get me through the lineup one time. And maybe that's his role. So after Money, it was a parade of pitchers. We saw Griffin Herring, Gavin Guidry pitched. We got to see Dutton throw an inning. Bryce Collins went out and again couldn't find the strike zone. He walked 2, he struck out 2. You just can't have that ratio. And Helmers came out of the bullpen to get the last out of the game. So anyway, let's see what else. Dylan Cruz homered in the first inning, just unfair. Right center went opposite way. Just I don't know what I mean. You just run out of adjectives to talk about Dylan Cruz. I don't even know what else to say, man. He's just he's just awesome. Jordan Thompson homered as well in a big spot in the game. So yeah, man. You put LSU back in lead after they tied it at 4. So nice to see a lot of that yesterday. Pels win last night. They blow out the Spurs 119-84. So you're scoreboard watching now. You need the Pels to win and hopefully get a little help. So even after the win last night, they only gained a half game on the Yaz and the T-Wolves, who are both still at 12 and a half back. The Pels are 13 back, so half game behind them for the 9 and 10 spot respectively. All right, let's say some good mornings here. Brant Roban, morning, Matt. Batting lineup looked efficient last night. Let's see. Pearson was really good in the leadoff spot. Again, he was 2 for 5. Cruz was 2 for 3. Cruz batting .515. He was 2 for 3 last night with a homer. I don't think a homer and a double. Tommy White, 1 for 4. He walked. He did strike out. Maybe that's a big compliment that I could pay Tommy White. Is it's bizarre seeing him strike out, because going into this past weekend he had more homers than strikeouts. I think he had 6 homers and 5 strikeouts going into this past weekend. Trey Morgan was 2 for 5, looked good. Gavin Dugas wore the collar, but he did walk. Jones was 1 for 3, struck out a couple times. Beloso got a pinch hit single. Love to see that. Every time he gets his opportunity, he seems to make the most of it. Cade Beloso's batting .500 on the season. And maybe that's his role in this team, is to give you a veteran pinch hit AB if you need it. Joe Bear got the start last night. Was 1 for 3, walked, struck out, scored a run. So productive night for Joe Bear. And Thompson, 2 for 3, like we mentioned at the homer, which is great to see. Milazzo was 1 for 3 last night. Milazzo was batting .318 on the season, and he laid down a safety squeeze, which I love to see. Say it all the time. Never bunt unless if you're bunting to get on base or score a run. So with a runner on third and 1 out, Milazzo against a lefty laid down a beautiful bunt down the first base line to score the run, which was great to see. Let's see. Dale Broussard, good morning. How's Drew? We're good, thanks. Went to neurology yesterday and had a good checkup. So tweaking some things with his medicines. Should be a couple of weeks to notice taking effect, sort of thing. But getting better, thank you. Ryan Amanda Guidry, good morning. Blaine Smith, good morning, Matt. All draft prospects doing pro day at LSU. Unless if there's someone injured, we should, Blaine, get a rundown of the prospects who are going to participate in advance. But I would assume they all will, unless if someone's injured. Rick Manuel, good morning. Heard Perkins and Spates have taken on a leadership role in the locker room. If you're the same, what are your thoughts? Well, I would expect. Well, Brian Kelly did talk about Omar Spates, he's the Oregon State transfer. For those who forgot, really veteran guy. You want your best players to be your most vocal guys, and with guys like Ojulari and Ali Gay and Micah Baskerville and some guys who've been around for a while, who kind of had taken a leadership role. They're all gone, so you need new guys to step up in that role. Let's see. Jason Horn, good morning. Chris Glazer, good morning. When can we expect an announcement about GameCoin? I'm getting asked that every day now because we're getting close to the end of March. Before the end of Q1. And today is the 22nd, so we're getting close. Hey, Dad, good morning. John Webb, good morning. Robbie White, good morning. You might have touched on this. Is there a legitimate reason why Angel Reese isn't a finalist for National Player of the Year? Didn't make the Final Four. Robbie, I have no idea. I mean, I don't watch enough women's college basketball nationally to get. I'm just being very honest with you. I don't watch enough women's college basketball nationally to know if that's valid or not. She obviously was fantastic, had an amazing season, and I know she was named the first team All-American by the AP, but every league in America has a Player of the Year, and they're not all going to be finalists for the National Player of the Year award. So I can't tell you that I have a strong opinion on that. Charles Waltman, Jeff McKithen, Paul Losi, Bubba Smith, David Coslin, Blaine Smith. Who do you see the Saints targeting first round now that they have made free agent signings? Blaine, I really genuinely believe that none of their free agent signings, except for Derek Carr, preclude them from drafting any other player at that position. They still need a tight end. They only have 2 defensive tackles. They need more. they absolutely need another wide receiver because I don't know if you can count on Michael Thomas, and you haven't re-signed Jarvis Landry. Doesn't look like you will. So, I mean, there's a lot of years where you go into a draft feeling like there's a specific position you want to target. And I could make the argument this year that's defensive tackle. But, there was a mock draft yesterday from NFL.com that had the Saints taking Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. If Michael Mayer from Notre Dame is available, I'm pumped if they take it. If they take an offensive lineman, I'm pumped as well because, you've got Trevor Pennick from a year ago, and maybe he's your left tackle, but Andrus Peat is not going to be here much longer, and you need a guard. You need defensive tackle. Your only defensive ends are Cam Jordan, who's in his mid-30s now, Carl Granderson, Tano Passanio, and nobody really feels like you can count on Peyton Turner. I could absolutely make a case for a linebacker because you've got your first two with Demario Davis, who also is aging, and Pete Werner, but you need a rotation. I don't think anybody's counting on Zach Bond, and you just lost Caden Ellis. You know what I mean? So I'd be good with darn near anything they do in this draft, as long as they feel like they get value. Donovan Peterson, Tim Gotro, Brian Wynn, Jesse Brown, good morning. Thoughts on the DBs the Saints have signed? Yeah, well, talking about yesterday, they, on AFR, the Saints signed Lonnie Johnson, and that's basically a direct replacement for Justin Evans. So Justin Evans, and it's bizarre too because both are 27 years old, both started their college careers at JUCO, both went into the SEC. Evans went to A&M, Lonnie Johnson went to Kentucky. Both were second-round picks, and both can play corner and safety. So Evans, the Saints signed a year ago to a one-year deal, played well, and now Evans was signed by the Eagles. So the Saints needed a replacement. They went and signed Lonnie Johnson, who's basically the same player. It's hilarious, but but he's he's a guy that's a backup safety who's going to play special teams as well. Weston Weaver, good morning. Matt Plavidal, good morning. Off day at the post office. All right, good deal. Enjoy it. Carlos Vlon, good morning. Larry Garner, Ben Bergeron, good morning. Did LSU give up scoring with the bases loaded, no outs for? Cajun Country, Bryce Collins struck out 3. Milazzo dropped the ball. Something I noticed, if LSU can get to 7 runs a game, I see them unbeatable. Well, LSU gave up 8 in Game 3 on Sunday to Texas A&M, so 7 wouldn't have won that game. And by the way, Collins struck out 2. If you drop the ball, it still records as a strikeout, even if the runner reaches base. I see what you're saying. You're saying it would have been a third strikeout on the tip, but he dropped the ball. I got what you're saying. I thought you were saying when a runner reaches base on a strike 3, it counts as a strikeout. You just have to get another out in the inning. Stephen Miller, good morning. Antron Hemingway, morning, Matt. Will Coach Kelly do his press conference today? Can you tell Drew I said morning for me? Thanks, brother. I will, Antron. Thank you. And no media availability for Brian Kelly today. Here, I'll look at the media availability if you give me just a quick second. As always, just shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you know the drill. Go to Brock. You need a roof, give a shout out to Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. So, let's see. They're back on the practice field tomorrow, Thursday, for media availability. No coaches press conference. The next time Brian Kelly speaks is Saturday, approximately 12:05. So Saturday, practice availability for media is at 9:45 a.m. and then Brian Kelly meets with the media at 12:05. So no Brian Kelly today. Jason H., good morning. Time for the Matt Shuffle. Been a minute. You know what, Jason H.? Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be open unto you.
When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone, Ontario. All you need is Hudco.
Carlos Vaughn, any information on who LSU basketball team is going after to rebuild the team? Here's what I'll tell you, Carlos. Think Louisiana kids. I think that's where they're going to start. Kids from Louisiana who went to other schools, bringing some kids back to Louisiana. That's where you're going to start. Stephen Miller, odd fun fact, Kentucky baseball has won 15 straight games. Really bizarre. Really nice season opening sweep. But you know what, Stephen? I don't think Mississippi State's any good. I think, having seen them a few times this year, they were bad last year. I think they're going to be bad again this year. But yes, look, you win 15 straight in baseball. That's massively impressive. Let's see. Steven saw reported Justice Hill to enter the portal. I wonder how many hit the portal from the team. Kind of think it was a mutual parting of ways. So, Steven, I was told the number that they're probably going to, the scholarship number they're probably going to replace is 6. You have the 2 seniors and probably 4 hitting the portal. So, that's what I would look for. The 2 seniors being KJ and Parker Edwards, who started his career as a walk-on but was a scholarship player, by the end. So, those 2, and then probably 4 players hitting the portal. So 6 is, I think, what they'll probably turn over this year. Reed Rule, morning Scone. Looks like the books got wise. Looks like the books got wise on the under totals for Sweet 16. Unders went 32 and 16 in the first 2 rounds. That was a big angle for Ott. Played all the unders. First round unders as well. Clint, good morning, Matt. Just got my tickets for the LSU Arkansas game. Driving from Houghton. Looking forward to seeing our Tigers play. Seeing a local kid from Houghton play on Arkansas. Yeah, Peyton Stovall. I told you all about Stovall last year, man. I had a scout who's a buddy tell me it's the best swing he's seen from a Louisiana high school hitter since Todd Walker. Stovall can swing it, man, for sure. That's definitely one that got away. Jared Espry, good morning. Brad David, sorry if this is a dumb question. Why is opposite field home run so impressive? Not a dumb question at all. Because it's hard to hit with power to the opposite field. So you have to let the ball travel farther. And so typically you're going to generate your power on the pull side. So you could turn on a ball if you're a right-hander and pull it down the left field line. If you're a left-hander, you could pull it down the right field line. You can get more bat speed. You could just... the hip motion, when you're going the opposite way, you're letting the ball travel farther and you're hitting it farther back instead of out front. When you're hitting it farther back, it's going to hit send the motion to the opposite field, and it's harder to generate power that way. Let's see. Shelby Kelly, so much good baseball on right now. Otani Trout last night was baseball's best, going head-to-head. You know what's weird, Shelby? So I literally turned on... All right, so I watched LSU, and then after the LSU game ended, I flipped over to the Pelicans, watched them finish off the Spurs. And then that ended. They were doing the post-game, and I was like, oh, yeah, the World Baseball Classic Finals on. So I flip it on. And if I'm lying, I'm dying. I swear to you, like on everything holy. I did not watch a pitch live of the World Baseball Classic till last night. I flip it on. It's the top of the 9th. The U.S. is down 3-2. There's 2 outs, and it's Mike Trout against Otani, and he's got a 2-2 count. And the first pitch I see is like, well, I didn't see the pitch. The ball that Otani threw kind of got away from the catcher for ball 3. So, like, that, I turn it on, and the catcher's, like, corralling a loose ball, and it's 3-2, and I'm like, oh, my God. So, I watched one pitch of the World Baseball Classic, and it was Otani striking out Mike Trout to end the game last night. Anyway. Hey, Cajun Country. Southwest Volkswagen and Lafayette appreciated me telling them I heard about them from your show. Very cool. Thank you, man. Yeah, so South Point is in Baton Rouge. South Point Volkswagen, have endorsed forever. Same ownership group that has Southwest Volkswagen in Lafayette. So, yes. Thank you very much. Cool. Shelby, you must be friends with the hit doctor. Great demonstration. Steven was kind of hoping to see Griffin get the start last night. He was impressive out of the pen. Saw where Jay said he was going to use him this weekend. I did see that after the game as well. I was like, he's definitely going to pitch this weekend. I like it, man. You know, the other I think I'm trying to tread carefully here. First of all, I don't think you can ever have enough left-handed options out of the bullpen. So if you give me Riley Cooper, Ackenhausen, who they really seem to trust now as well, right? I mean, they called in him a couple times this weekend. And Javen Coleman still obviously isn't back. But you add Griffin Herring to that mix. Yeah, I mean, I like having another left-handed option. And especially if it's a guy who might have a little better stuff than the other two. I mean, Ackenhausen's coming in as a JUCO guy. And Cooper is, I get why people love Riley Cooper. Because he doesn't look the part, right? I mean, the long hair, the big belly, all that sort of stuff. And he's pitched in a lot of leverage spots. But the reality about Riley Cooper is, like, there's nothing he does that's really great, right? He doesn't have a plus pitch. He's a left-handed arm. But he manages to get guys out. But on a day like Sunday, where he did struggle to locate, yeah, I want another left-handed option, man. And Ackenhausen is who they were warming up in the bullpen, and maybe next week that's Herring because you already used, or this weekend because you already used Ackenhausen all the weekend. I'd love to see Javen Coleman get back, obviously, and they got another lefty, Nick Bronzini, who we haven't seen this year, but yes, I agree with you, Steven. I don't know if there's such thing as too much pitching, right? All right, y'all. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. I got to get going. Real quick, let's see. Rhoda Yule, good morning. Paul Losi, what's the name of the mold company? Mold Zero. Mold-0USA.com. Mold-0. I'll post it for you. Hang on. Let me just post it. Great people, by the way. Call Jim Woodworth. He'll take all the time you need to explain everything you need to know. Great dude. Craig Straub, good morning. Michael Thacker, good morning. Randy Dabdoob, what's up? Okay, y'all. Oh, it's 8:01. I gotta go. I'm sorry if I missed you. Y'all have an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching. Please smash the like button on the way out. YouTube, subscribe up, Facebook. Please like the page, share the post. Y'all have an awesome, awesome day, and we'll see you. Peace.